Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I will be showing you how to make these hoop earrings, and for tools I will be using a pen and a jeweler's file. Also I will be using this bottle to shape the wires. I'm also going to use a chain nose and a round nose pliers. I'm also going to use a flush cutter and 2 times 12 inches of 14 gauge wire and 1 times 4 inches of 20 gauge wire. And you can find a list with all the items that I'm using in the description box. So I'm making the hair wires first, and I'm using the 20 gauge wire to do so. So I'm just going to bend the wire like this, then I'm using my fingers, and I'm also going to use the chain nose pliers to bring it together. And at this point I'm using the chain nose pliers to lay the wire flat. Now I'm going to use the round nose pliers to make a loop, and I'm using the larger end of the round nose pliers to make the loop because I will not be using a jump ring to attach the air wires. Next I'm going to use the pen to shape the wire. So right here I'm just using the back of the flush cutter to trim the end of the air wires. Then I'm just going to use the chain nose pliers to bend it out like so. Next I'm going to use the back of the flush cutter to cut the top of the loop to separate the air wires. So right here I'm just going to use the round nose pliers to close the loops, and then I'm going to use the jeweler's file to smooth the end of the air wires. And I'm going to make these first. At this point I'm going to use a bottle to shape the wire. I'm just going to place the bottle in the middle of the wire, and I'm going to wrap it around like that. Then I'm going to take it off. I'm going to remove it from the bottle, and I'm going to place the round nose pliers into the middle, and then I'm going to make a loop. So to make the loop I'm going to take the right tail of the wire over the barrel of the pliers and take it to the other side. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other tail of the wire. Next I'm removing the pliers, then I'm inserting it back, and I'm just going to complete the loops. Now I'm going to use the flush cutter to get rid of the excess wires, and I'm going to use the chain nose pliers to close the loops. To bring the loops together, I'm just placing it back onto the bottle, and I'm just going to squeeze the loops together like so. I'm going to make the other earring, and I'm just going to increase the speed of the video. To finish off these earrings, I'm just going to attach the ear wires to them, and I'm just going to use the chain nose pliers to open and to close the ear wires. To make the other earrings, you are going to need 2 times 12 inches of 14 gauge wire, a round nose pliers, a flush cutter, a chain nose pliers, and the hammer and the bench block. They're optional. You don't have to use it if you don't have them. And you're going to need some ear wires. And I almost forgot, I'm going to use this bottle to shape the wire. Now I'm going to shape the wire around the bottle. Then I'm using the chain nose pliers to bend the longer end up like that, and I'm going to wrap the shorter end around it 3 times. Next, I'm going to use a flush cutter to trim the excess wire. Then I'm just going to use the chain nose pliers to squeeze the ends down. And moving on, I'm using the flat side of the hammer to hammer the earrings. And I'm hammering on one side. Now I'm going to use a ball end of the hammer to add some texture to the earrings, and I will be doing so on both sides. So when you are hammering, you want to be careful not to hammer where you've wrapped your wire. So if the hoop is not laying flat, what you can do is place it onto the rubber block and use the flat end of the hammer to press it down. So you will not be striking it, you will just be pressing on it. Next, I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other earring. Now I'm going to bend the wire like so at a 90-degree angle, and just making sure that they are approximately the same. Then I'm going to use a row nose pliers to make the loops, and I'm placing it right next to where I made the bend. And then I'm going to take the tail of the wire over the barrel of the pliers like so, and I'm just going to bring it to the other side, and then I'm just going to roll my hand towards me to complete that loop. Now I'm going to go in with the flush cutter, and I'm using the back of it to cut the excess wire. Then I'm using my chain nose pliers to close the loop. Now you can go ahead and attach your air wires. Also, you don't have to use silver wire. You can use wires that you love or prefer to use. If you've got any questions, you can ask them in the comment section. I hope this video was helpful, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.